Beautiful. Cool. Aside from that, guys, y'all know my favorite number. It's 7. So if you guys hear some nuggets, drop a 7. That thing's gonna fire me up. So drop a 7. You know, every time you learn something, because I'm gonna try to bring some new stuff, right? Some things that you might not ever heard of. Aside from that, I'm probably gonna call on you guys just at random. So just be prepared with that mute button because I like to keep things interactive. But aside from that, as soon as you come in this room, what's the first thing you see? What is this? What are we looking at?
That's the sauce.
Some sauce. Yes.
Hey, the sauce.
The sauce. Because that's what I'm about to bring to you guys, man. Let's go. We'll bring some sauce. What else? What else? Let's see some chips in. Chips and what? Maybe this will give you a good clue of what we're going to talk about today.
Chips and pips. Already posted it right in the beginning.
Chips and pips. Okay. Dip. I see dip. I see dip.
Dip, baby, dip.
We're going to talk about the dip. All right. Let me give you one more clue. Let's see. Oh, what's that? What's that?
That drop.
What's it about to do? It's about to what? It's about to dip. I'm giving you guys too many clues. You guys want to go for a dip? Dip, boy, dip, dip, dip.
I can't with you.
What's this, guys? What is that?
Sinking ship.
That's the Titanic.
Oh, they killed Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep. Do you guys want to know why you guys are looking at a Titanic right now? If you know the answers to the questions I'm asking, please feel free to put them on the chat. Why do we have a picture of the Titanic right here in front of us? Because it's going down, baby. Let's go. Oh!
Stop.
Don't mind me. It's about to go down, guys. And yes, I am talking about the dip. And what do you do with the dip? I need to see that chat blow up, guys. I need to see it. What do we do with the dip? We buy the mother dip. Yes, sir. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. Everybody else is panicking. This is really what a lot of us have been hit with. Our first major dip, right? The first major dip of the cryptocurrency bull run has officially happened, right? So there's a lot of things about buying the dip, right? You hear buy the dip. You guys have been hearing it all week. But what's the $1 million question is, how do you buy the dip, right? Well, what is the dip? How do you buy it, right? A couple things I want you guys to keep in mind, right? First things first, when it comes to buying the dip, right? In order to be successful at trading, guys, at investing cryptocurrency, you're gonna have to get a little bit smarter than the rest of the people, right? That's common sense. You're gonna have to get smarter than everybody else. You're gonna have to one up them. And yes, you're gonna have to go back to the technical side of things, right? You're gonna have to stay true to the discipline, stay true to the strategy. You cannot succeed if you don't. If you don't follow the simple concept of what I'm about to talk about and elaborate with you guys today, chances are you probably won't be successful at investing unless you just know how to hold for a very long time. So first things first, there's two rules here. Put aside the fear that comes when everyone else is selling the correction, aka the dip. So when everyone else is saying sell, 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 put that fear aside. Don't feel like you have to, right? Put that fear aside when everyone else is doing it. Number 2, put aside impulse to buy when it's high, when everybody's buying, right? So oftentimes what's going on, and guys, I've done this too, right? A lot of us do this too. You guys just find a coin, I find a coin, we all find a coin that sounds like it's a really good investment. But before you invested in that coin, did you pause and go look at the charts? Answer that honestly. Did you pause and go look at the charts? Because the charts, and I don't care what anybody tells you, that's exactly where you're going to get the most concrete evidence. right? The most concrete evidence is going to come straight from the charts. So if you're about to do, guys, if you put maybe like a $30 investment into a shit coin, I get it. I just put it in there. It's $30, whatever. I'm gonna hold anyways. Most chances are I'm buying at the bottom already, right? But if you're gonna make an investment, right, about $1,000. I have people come up to me and they're like, "Hey man, I got $1,000. What should I put it in?" And I'll tell them my opinion. I say, "Hey man, I'm putting in an XRP." They're, "Oh, XRP, okay, cool," or Ethereum. Ethereum, all right, cool. And then they go do it. Just like that, just like that. Anybody here guilty of that? You just hear it and then you go do it. You just go buy. Now, what's going to separate you from everybody else, and this is what's going to teach you how to be an optimal trader, is that you're going to have to understand where your buying cue is at. So here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart. So I'm going to show you guys right here. I always have to do some charts on it. Because I just want to help make sense. And I know a lot of you guys here, you're learning the charts and or you know the charts already. So, bear with me here. But here, what you're looking at is the Bitcoin to the USDT to be exact, right? So here's like a little rule of thumb, right? This is something that you could write down. This is just like a little staple. Whatever Bitcoin does, altcoins follow. So how are you going to predict the crash of the altcoin market? You just follow Bitcoin. So whenever you want to see a crash, I called the crash. I knew there was a crash coming. I've been watching the Bitcoin, the charts a little bit, and there's certain cues that just pinpoint it out. Some of you guys might already know this right from the jump. If you guys are looking at this, what does the triple top mean? What does a triple top mean? Anybody? Like I said, I'm gonna get you guys engaged. Who wants to answer that? What does a triple top mean?
It's a reversal?
Yes, sir. It's a reversal in the market. There you go, Rashad. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's a reversal in the market. Okay, cool. So that right there just tells me, all right, well, I'm not going to buy because this is going to go straight south. Why would I buy? That's what I mean by being smart about it, right? Oh, damn, VeChain popped up. Oh, shit, let me get in, right? Let's be smart about it, guys. And I know this to us, buying the dip, at least through the experienced ones, buying the dip, it's common knowledge, right? But what I want to do is I want to challenge you guys. I want you guys to take a step, pause, go look at the chart first, because if somebody's telling you about it, the chances are you're already too late. Unless it's a credible source from somebody that's like right there with you, right? So look at this. Look at this right here, guys. So you see multiple dips. Boom. Those are buying opportunities at the dips, right? People cry. People get crazy about the dips, like, no, it's going down. Oh man, like I got to grieve over these dips. But no, I'm excited because it's optimal buying opportunity. So if we go ahead and go back to 2017, which is one of my favorite examples here, everybody that bought the dip right here, what happened? This is what's going to cut off rookie traders from the rest. This is what's going to make people not believe in it. When you buy at the top, what happens? Let's take an example right here. Let's just say Bitcoin back in 2017, everybody bought when it was starting to shoot up, back up 17,000. Bitcoin was at 17,000, right? Let me just draw this line out. Hold on, let me just move some stuff around my screen. Let me just draw this thing out here. Okay, cool. I really feel sorry for these people because this is what's going to happen to you guys if you guys don't get disciplined by taking a look at the charts first before you invest. So if you were one of those lucky people to buy when Bitcoin was high back in 2017, around like $17,000, $18,000, and then the market just straight dipped right after that, you would have had to wait 2018, 2019, 2020, up to 2021, January 2021, for you to see any profits at all. At all. You would have not hit a single dollar in profit at all for 3 years. 2019, 2020, for 3 years. You would have not seen a single profit for 3 years. And you know what the most common action is when you don't see a profit for 3 years and your money's just chilling, consolidating for a long time? What are you gonna do? It's been let's just say, okay, I'm down to the 2.5 year mark. Come on, man. This Bitcoin thing is dead. It was a fluke. It was a scam. What do you think people are gonna do? What if we got to this point right here? Let's see. So, guys, I want you guys to take this stuff and, put it out there, like let people know, you know what I mean? Because they're your friends out there, your friends need you. What if you sold right here just because it went sideways and it bored you for 3 years? What about the people that sold off right here? And people did. People did. You see that red? People sold off. What if you were that person? You'd be pissed as a motherfucker. So let me bring up a term called HODL, right? Who knows what HODL means? It looks like hold, but just kind of like a deformed, spelled version of hold. What does a HODL mean? Buy it and just sit on it? Yep. Hold on for dear life. HODL. HODL. Hold on for dear life. Exactly. So here, the people who HODLed, right, they got a huge benefit from this. That's why you hold. That's why we want to preach holding. Think longer term, guys. Think longer term. Hold, 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 hold. If Bitcoin went all the way to if Bitcoin went all the way to 60,000, and then dropped all the way back down to 5,000, most people would still sell. When all you got to do is hold, and that thing will reverse right back up and hit 100,000. So cool. Now look at this, guys. So that's more long term here. Now let's think short term, because I'm about flipping my profits too. I got some investments that I really just want to buy and flip and just keep doing that because I need some quick cash, because I'm going to fucking Turkey next July. So I'm trying to get this money real quick. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the short term and the long term game. So the short term game, what I do, guys, is by the way, this is not financial advice. I got to say this because I know this video is going to end up on YouTube. Everything is just for entertainment purposes, and we're just chilling. Cool. All right, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm leveraging the shit coins. The shit coins, though, that is where I'm gonna use to raise capital to buy into the altcoins, in which we'll get later in this presentation. I got some good stuff for you guys as well. After I break down, I always have to have some chart time. That's just because I want to brand that thing. Always look at the charts, guys. Cool. So I buy multiple altcoins. I got about 80 altcoins, 80 coins that I invest in total, around there, right? I don't put a lot of money in every single coin. Some coins I put maybe 1,000, some I put 500, but then there's others that I definitely put like 20 or 30 bucks in, right? So for me, my strategy is I want to get in as many shit coins as I can from the very beginning. And I'm talking about what we do here, guys, is we get into these coins about, couple days up to like max 2 weeks after they come out, because those are the resources that we have, right? I have alerts, I got subscriptions, I got a whole bunch of tools that tell me as soon as a coin is dropped. So I know what to do, where to look at it, and I just throw in maybe like 30 bucks. I know I'm among the first people throw in, so I know at some point it's going to blow up. At some point, I just got to wait for it. So I use that as leverage to buy these altcoins, which have tech behind them, right? So you don't want to live and die by the shit coins like SafeMoon, FEG. Like, I love them and everything, and I think that they have great projects behind them, but those things are not revolutionizing the world like what I'm about to show you guys today. Those are not the coins that are flipping society. You know what I mean? I feed every gorilla, FEG token. That's so every gorilla in Africa, is fed, they're good, they're taken care of, and they're chilling, right? That's not going to change the world. It's going to change the gorilla's world, and I'm all about it, man. That's why I got some FEG, right? But what the larger scope is, there's revolutionary technology behind cryptocurrency as a whole. So it's safer to leverage those to build capital to move on to your altcoins. Mostly Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin is an investment wheel, right? Unless something detrimental happens or something stupid happens to Bitcoin, or I don't know, some wild thing from the West comes out, guys, there is so much smart money into Bitcoin. Y'all think that's going away? There's trillions of dollars. It's the highest currency in the world, highest market cap times 2 or 3. There's so much smart money. That by smart money, I mean financial institutions and large corporate companies that put their money into Bitcoin. Do you guys think they're going to let it fail? Hell no. Bitcoin is an investment wheel. So when it comes to buying the dip, there's certain things that you should already know, right? Like key levels and buying zones. When you were able to pinpoint buying zones, that's how you know that, hey, you're not the only one that's in on this. There's like a secret, some sort of secret coding behind just looking at a chart, and like a secret psychology that everybody knows that, all right, this right here is a buy zone. Financial institutions know their buy zones, right? So when the markets dip, I'm waiting for a buy zone. I'm not just going to let it go down a little bit. I'm just going to let it go down a little bit more. No, I want to be educated about this, about buying the dip. Be educated about buying the dip, right? So cool. Let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. So you see these little higher highs and then higher lows, right? So for those of you that are brand new to the concept, so because half of y'all in here know how to trade and the other half are brand new, still learning, so I'm kind of going to play a mix of both. But what they're called higher highs, because this right here is a higher high. That's a higher high. That's a higher high, because it's high, and it's higher than the last high. Higher high. Now, what do you guys think these are called? If it's going on an uptrend, it's a higher low. That's a higher low. That's a higher low. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. And then it just reverses, right? So when we're looking at this charts, right, we don't want to get in up here, guys. We don't want to get in up here. That's not what we want to do. Take a second and look at the chart, wait for the retracement, because there's a buy zone. There's a thing called the 618 Fibonacci retracement, right? What the hell is this tool? Let's see. So what the 618 Fibonacci retracement is, for all y'all new traders, this is a cheat code right here. So let's grab it from the bottom to the top, and then it will retrace down anywhere near the 50% to the 618. That's how you know how far the dip is, and that's how you know where your buying zone is. It's a common trend, the 618 Fibonacci. Kind of rule of thumb, it just kind of goes halfway. It retraces halfway down. So if you're hearing about a coin and then you see the charts up here, chill out, chill. Write it down and then come back to it, right? Because there's a much smarter entry point when you're buying a cryptocurrency. It's so easy to buy a crypto. You literally just go to your exchange and buy it. But guess what happens if you just do that? Let me show you right now what happens if we're just buying these cryptos just off the exchange. Okay, I got it. Cool. I got the monkey off my back. Whew, I can relax now. I can say I got into VeChain. That's kind of how, I don't know about you guys. I think like that too. So if I do it, y'all do it. This is what's going to happen right here. Watch this shit. And this is exactly what happened to a lot of these new traders, man. Literally. All right. Cool. Let's just say that you purchased right here. And I told this to a couple of y'all here. So let's just say that you purchased right here.
Again, man.
Yeah, I had to share it with you, man. Especially you. Matter of fact, is that Josh? Is that Josh? That's Josh, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna pick on you. Okay, perfect example, man. So Josh bought Yummy coins, right? When this shit was high as hell. Right? It was like right here. Josh bought some Yummy coins, right? That's the coin that's being promoted by Jake Paul and like Carnage and a whole bunch of other celebrities. He bought right here, right? So what happens when you buy here? Duh, there's gonna be a retracement. You just pull out the fib. I could have told you that, right? One day I'll get faster at using these things, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen anytime soon. Barry knows my struggle.
It's all right. You're doing great.
I appreciate you. Here it is. Okay, so I did the fib retracement on that one. Let me do it here. Boom. Okay, came down 50%. Awesome. Let me do it again. From the bottom to the top. Boom. Came down 50%. Actually almost hit 618. You guys are seeing a common theme here, right? So when it's at a high, just pull out the fib and that'll tell you your buying zone right there. So I'm teaching you guys how to buy the dips right here. And to some of y'all, it might be common sense because you've been doing this for a while, but a lot of y'all just need a quick reminder. So that's one of my buying zones. Of course, you can have multiple buying zones. You can set limit orders so where it just automatically puts you in there, right? That's a really good strategy. But here it is. Here it is right here, guys. That's a buying zone. So how do I know how low it's going to go? That's the question you guys are asking. How do I know how low it's going to go? Well, you never know for certain, right? You never know for certain. But that's one of the indicators that you guys can use. The Fibonacci retracement, it'll go halfway down. So this is what I mean by what happened to Josh. Check this out. This is what happened to a lot of people. So you buy right here and you're in this business trying to make some money. You purchase right here. And then what did it do? It dipped. And keep in mind, guys, I'm looking at a day chart. So each candle is 1 day. So this right here is about 30 days until Josh saw a dollar. Josh has not seen a dollar in 30 days. Only for this shit to come right here and him
A couple cents.
keep going
a couple
up.
cents. Not a dollar. A couple cents.
A few cents. Josh made a few cents right here. Oh, cool. It's finally going up. It's going up. Yeah. Titanic. It's going down. That's literally what happens when you buy at a high point. Or you could have bought right here and you could have enjoyed this whole thing. But no, you bought up here and then now you're definitely not, you missed this. You would have had to just cash that out if you were a guru and you knew how far it was going. That's all you got. That's nothing. You ain't making no money right here. And then it just dipped right back down and then bam, you ain't seeing that money for another while. So that's 30 days. That's a month. That's 2 months. Josh, you ain't seeing nothing for another I don't know how long because I can't predict the market, but it's going to be a while.
Predictable.
Do we get into this business for that, guys? Or is there a smarter way?
A smarter way.
Going down DMs, yep. Past the 618, considered the fake out, yep. Exactly. So we are never making money if you buy high, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. So you want to do the what? Buy the what? Buy the dip. Beautiful. Does that make sense? That I just wanted to put it in a different perspective for some of y'all, right? Like I know you heard by the dip, I know you hear, you know by the dip, but I just wanted to put it in perspective that regular people that don't know what they're doing besides us are going to buy at high points and are not going to make any money and they're going to complain about it. And then they're just going to bash it. You know what I mean? And they're just not going to buy more and then they're not going to be rich. But you guys, us, we're going to be rich because we buy the fucking dip. Beautiful. All right, on this right here, any questions on this? I'm waiting for a reversal right here, guys. So last point I'm going to make on this before I move on. This right here, that retracement, cool. It's the same shape as this overall thing, right? So this overall thing is going to look like this, but just in a bigger scale, in a bullish trend. So when you're buying the dip, guys, first of all, you want to make sure that you're in a bullish trend. You don't want to buy a dip when you're in a bearish trend. So what I mean by that is, because I don't want to leave you guys just buy the dip, but you're buying the dip in a downward trend. That's just not it, Chief. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess if you time it right all the time, but if you're buying a dip in the downward, you know what I mean? I guess you could do it. There's ways to do it. But if you're holding, you know what I mean, just keep that in mind. You can buy this and sell that, you know, like you can just sell, but buying the dip, make sure that it's on an upward trend. Cool. Any questions on this, guys? Just wanted to just throw that out there. Beautiful. All right, cool. Now I want to show you guys something cool. So this is Bitcoin, guys. So another thing about blockchain technology, what this is, it's changing the game for a lot of people. It's changing society as a whole. There's been, if you were in the call last week, then you know about the refugees in Syria, right? So if you know about the refugees in Syria, in which they had, when you have a whole bunch of foreign people in your country and you don't have any documentation about them whatsoever, you know, how are you going to provide for thousands of people that are refugee in a country when you don't have any background, you don't know their names, you don't know nothing? You use blockchain technology to assign them a key with their information on it, in which you can use their iris to go ahead and purchase. You can credit everything. It's all their information is stored in the blockchain. So here, we go back to this slide right here, guys. All right, so now that we know how to buy the dip, guys, let me talk to you guys about Venezuela. Does anybody know what happened in Venezuela? Just put a 1 on the chat if you know what happened in Venezuela in 2017. If you know what happened in Venezuela back 2016, I apologize. Put a 1 in the chat. So back in 2016, Venezuela. So Venezuela had its moments of just luxury. Because if you didn't know, Venezuela, it's the highest producer in oil all across the world. Number 1. They're just producing a whole bunch of oil, right? So they were sitting on a pretty penny for a while until there was a lot of financial mistakes that were being made by the president, or whoever was running the country at the time. He was doing really good for society, right? So society as a whole was improving. It was looking good. But it was just irresponsibility on the funds, right? What I mean by that is spending recklessly on programs that were doing good for people, but at the end just didn't work out for the country as a whole because it plummeted their currency. And guys, when I mean plummeted, that shit plummeted. Like, I cannot exaggerate. I'm talking about like, it's at one point it was like $100 for a piece of chicken. Not even that, it went further, because every week inflation just doubled. Inflation doubled every single week. You guys want to take an estimate? Just take a wild guess how much a cup of coffee costed at its highest point of the inflation. And if you know about inflations, that means that the currency is weakening because there's so many of it out there. Anybody want to take a wild guess in the chat? How much for a cup of coffee?
150.
150? Nope. Keep going. 25? Hell no. You guys are way off. I'm talking about way off. Any other takers? 300? You guys are still. I'm talk about a different paradigm, guys. I want you guys to guess. This is how bad it was. Like I'm telling you, this is what you guys are looking at right now. It says a guy, no hay comida. That means there's no food. People can't even buy food. People were throwing dollar bills on the streets like it's nothing. Just cars would go by and they just throw it because it's worth nothing. Like literally nothing. Nothing. That was a huge crisis in Venezuela. So there was huge protests, a lot of uproars. Guys, a cup of coffee cost $2.5 million. In the Venezuelan Bolivar. $2.5 million for a cup of damn coffee. It's like it literally spiraled out of control. Literally spiraled. It is just there was no control. It just wasn't there. It's almost laughable. It's like, how can you would think a government would be smart enough to not let that happen? But they printed and printed and printed and printed and printed, and that was the collapse. If you guys look it up, they operate under a brand new currency. It's a brand new currency now. They don't use the Venezuelan Bolivar. It's a VES or something like that. VES, the USD. If you look that up, one USD is like 3 million VES. Check this out. If you bought the dip, that shit plummeted down and you bought the dip and then it recovered and then you make money. No, it's insensitive. I didn't. But yeah, that's how bad things were. So what were people doing? What were people doing? Right? This is where blockchain technology came in again. What people started doing was, as the inflation kept getting higher and higher and prices would double week by week, they had no chance. They moved their money into Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the solution to Venezuela's problems. A lot of them. Because what happened was, not only were they able to preserve the dollar amount from just dropping, just from an endless pit, but by moving what they had into Bitcoin, that investment wheel allowed it to go up, or at least preserve it from falling down. And now you best believe, you know what they did? People who put their money in early enough, or people who just put their money in general, they got the hell out of there.
Yeah, they came to the U.S.
Yeah, about 2 million people.
Yep.
Josh, you remember Lou when that whole thing was going down? We was at the office.
Literally was about to reference that.
Yeah, that thing happened with Lou. So I felt it. I felt it. You know what I mean? So it was insane. So we got to feel it a little bit. We felt it from Venezuelan. So it kind of hit home in a sense. But that is if something ever like that happens in an economy, cryptocurrency would be the solution to that. So I want to talk a little bit. What's going on right now? Feel free to unmute your mics, put in the chat. What is going on right now?
The
You
U.S.
don't want me to say what's going on.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, man. Shane, the floor is yours, buddy.
We got a nutcase in there right now, man. That's what's going on. Jesus, he's
Right.
running the country.
We're printing out crazy amounts of money. Does anybody know how much money? I think in the last year alone, we've printed out more money than all of existence in U.S. history. Is that right? Can anybody fact check me on that one? Facts, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And we're printing out so much money. We're printing out so much money. So what is that doing to us right now?
Making the dollar more cheaper, or making the dollar cheaper.
It's cheapening the dollar. It is cheapening the dollar right before our eyes.
But yet, look what's going on around us, though.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going up.
So yes. There's. I mean, you if you're putting your money into a crypto that's that's doing good, it's worth a hell of a lot more than the U.S. dollar as it's tanking, right? It's got its ups and downs, but when generally, as a rule of thumb, when you print money, you put more money out there, it's just going to depreciate. And America has been doing that a lot because COVID hit, and a lot of that money is going to a lot of aid internationally, right? It's going to aid overseas. So in order to recover from COVID, it's understandable in a way, but it's definitely putting our country in some sort of bind here, right? But I also want to introduce a new thought, right? And that's what they say anyways, right, Melody? So I kind of want to just throw a little pivot here for you guys. So as America's printing money, right? America. I want to say, and I'll put that out there, that America is just on its own ball game. It's literally its own thing, right? So you can't really compare Venezuela and the United States. Regardless of how much money we print, are we too legit to fail? What do you guys believe? Put a 1 if you think we're too legit. Put a 2 if we're not that legit and you think we could fail. You think we're that legit we could sustain? 2, or a shot? Okay, 1. So are we too legit to fail? So are we going to see what happened in Venezuela to us? Are we going to see that? And that brings me an interesting point. So I'll throw it out there, and then I'll leave it to you guys to decide and form your own opinion, right? I do personally think that America's too legit to fail. And the reason I think that America is too legit to fail is because, 1, we are the top consumers in the world, right? The American dollar is a global standard currency. Back in 1970 some shit, what's his face, took the gold off back from the dollar. The dollar was no longer backed by gold, right? So you could easily just print money without it having any sort of backing. But also check this out. If I went to China, right, and I try to go out there and buy goods and services with the Venezuelan dollar or a Mexican peso or something like that, what do you think would happen? If I go to a restaurant, I want to buy some stuff, and I pull out some pesos,
And out the wazoo.
what's going to happen? What are they going to tell me right then and there?
No,
That they
thank
don't
you.
accept it.
Exactly. It's way likely that they will not accept it. But if I took an American dollar, what are the chances of it being accepted?
Way more likely.
Way more likely, because it's a global standard. And yeah, it's a lot higher. China itself has like a share of stock, or they own more than 3 trillion US dollars. Right? They've invested in more than $3 trillion in US. Japan has a lot as well. So what does that mean? If China has invested in the US dollar, right? And then countries like Japan are doing what they can to keep it low, believe it or not, they're not trying to really increase their currency power. It's a smart strategy for exportation, or for exporting. You can look it up. So keeping the price of their currency kind of has its own little benefits if they keep it low. China owns more than $3 trillion of the US currency. Do you think it's in the benefit of China to let this shit drop?
Definitely not, because
You
they could follow.
Mm-hmm. Think it's in the benefit of Japan or Mexico or any other country that accepts the dollar bill to let that plummet in price? Mm-mm. It's not in their best interest because they own a lot of it, and then what are they going to do if it cheapens? So here's the thing. As long as the US dollar continues to be globally accepted, the demand for the US dollar can keep it from hitting way low in value. It could prevent it from plummeting, completely plummeting, because of wide adoption of the US dollar. And as more countries and more places are starting to accept the US dollar, then that means, if you keep printing that dollar and then more people keep accepting it, it's not going to really drop the value, as long as there's some sort of productivity, as long as there's some sort of business being done and they're accepting dollars. That's going to keep it, at a somewhat steady, but it's still going to cheapen it, but it's going to drop it. So here, let me show you guys. I'm going to read it. I know you guys can read, but I'm going to read it to you guys anyway. So here's what it is. Why the dollar won't collapse. And like I said, you can form your own opinion, but this is just kind of a little side, food for thought. Many say the dollar won't collapse for 4 seasons. First, it's backed by the US government. First of all, that makes it a premier global currency. Second, it's universal medium of exchange. That's thanks to its
Ira, you froze. I don't know if that was just me.
Yeah, he froze. You guys hear me?
Now we can.
All right, bet. Go. It's connecting issues. 1 second. Yeah, I was just getting to the good part.
Man, see what happens when you talk about the U.S. government, bro? Shit.
They don't
Your
like that.
NSA agent is on you, Ira. Better watch out.
My FBI is watching me, yo. I'm about to pop this up here in a second. It's disconnecting.
They
Dude,
said you're trying to
JT, I
bring
ain't know
power
you
to
was
the
so
people.
rich. Feel free to discuss, though. Like, I don't know, is that an interesting point that we're making here? Yeah. I was actually just reading up on that today. It's funny you talking about it now. Connected. All right, we good.
Recording in progress.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, cool. All right, let's continue right here. All right, so the fourth reason is probably the most important. The United States is the world's best customer. It's the largest export market for many countries. Most of those countries either have adopted the US dollar as their own currency, others peg their own currency to the dollar. As a result, they have zero incentive to switch to another currency. Many in Congress want the dollar to decline because they believe it will help the US economy. So So if you guys think there's some nut jobs and thing, they're like, oh, why are they printing? Oh, you know, I feel like they have a method for the madness, and this is what I think it is. So that's why I wanted to present it to you guys. A weak dollar lowers the price of US exports relative to foreign goods. Its products become more competitive. In fact, the decline in the dollar helped improve the United States trade deficit in 2012. It's crazy, huh? It's like some things you just I don't know, it just never clicked, and I never read this information anywhere. It kind of just like hit me a little bit. I was like, wow, that's actually pretty decent argument. Don't I'm not gonna solidify it, you know. I'm just kind of throwing this at you guys for food for thought. But it kind of is like, all right, you know, are they really just printing out? Because they got loans or something like that, for forgivable loans too, that are coming out for a whole bunch of people, and it's just printing more and more money. Is there like a method to the madness? Is there a strategy behind it, or what's good? Right. So check this out. Bottom line, although the dollar has declined dramatically over the past 10 years, it has never been in danger of collapsing. It's not in the best interest of most countries to allow this to happen. A collapse would wipe out the value of dollar holdings. Regardless of the anticipated direction of the dollar, most experts agree that the best hedge against risk is to maintain a well-diversified investment portfolio, which is what we're doing, right? Ask your financial planner about including overseas funds that are denominated in foreign currencies, which rise when the dollar falls. Focus on economies with strong domestic markets. Also, ask about commodities funds such as gold, silver, oil, and tend to increase when the dollar declines. So there's things out there that have a relationship with the dollar. When the dollar declines, gold goes up. So it's in your best interest to hold a piece of gold. You know, open up your investment portfolio. I'd like some gold. I'd like some silver. I'd like some real estate. I'd like some crypto. I'd like some stocks and shares. You know, what else we want? Because physical things, you know, some things they preserve value when the dollar declines or when currencies decline. So that's an example, guys, of a cryptocurrency kind of chiming in there, right? When cryptocurrency is around, it has the power to help countries. It helped Venezuela, right? You know, blockchain technology has helped a lot of solutions. So let's do this here, guys. Let's talk about these altcoins, right? I'm gonna ask for about 15 more just to get through this right here. So altcoins. Let me give you guys a quick refresher of blockchain technology. So blockchain technology is decentralized information. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, this is where shit gets real, right? The technology that I'm about to introduce to you guys. So you guys heard round 1 last week. I got round 2 here that I'm going to break down for you guys. So here's blockchain. It's connecting the entire world with decentralized information. What that kind of means is you would have the private key to your information. So when it's centralized, that means, you know, a doctor's office has all your health records and that's it, right? Facebook has all your whatever records. I don't know, whatever information Facebook has, it's centralized, right? Your dentist has all your dentist records, right? It's centralized. Nobody else has it. Nobody else can touch it, right? When you decentralize something, that means that you're opening it up. If you put it out there, it's out there, right? Because it touches more than just one data center, basically, more than just one node. It's connected to multiple nodes across the world that confirm things, that keep it on the blockchain, and once it's there, it's there. Meaning, if there's some information that gets put on the blockchain and goes into a node, it has made contact with every single node. So if that node goes down, it's still around. Your information is still there because it's been decentralized. It's been decentralized, meaning it's made contact with all the other nodes, meaning it could be pulled from any source at any time. It's never going away. It's been confirmed. So that's just a refresher on what blockchain technology is. And I put an example, that's the Great Library of Alexandria, or so Google says. Put an example there because back then, Great Library of Alexandria was where all the knowledge and wisdom was. That's where it was. You would go to the Great Library of Alexandria for all these nuggets. Instead of spreading the knowledge. They wanted to keep it them for themselves. They wouldn't give it to all these other libraries across the world or across the country or whatever. They would kept it here. And then what happened was that it burned down. The great Library of Alexandria burned down. And then there was no other libraries to have a copy of the precious information and resources that were inside the great Library of Alexandria. It's down, it's done. Does that make sense for you guys? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. If you got a better idea of blockchain and decentralized information. Awesome, beautiful, cool. All right, great. Yeah, I'm kind of just gonna keep nudging these little examples at you guys week by week, just so we can all stay caught up with it. Beautiful. Let's talk about some tokens, guys. So you guys are investment, your portfolios are ready, you're hot and heavy. It's the dip. What are we gonna do during the dip? We buy the fucking dip, but what are we buying? We don't even know, right? So one of the things I like to do on these calls is I always like to have a round of tokens, right? These are tokens that you guys see on a daily basis, but you don't take a second to really dive into maybe. So what you can expect from here is that I'm going to have an assortment of different coins to just kind of go through it. It's not going to be a lot of them, just a few of them, but these are fucking revolutionary, guys. So energy web token right here. So these notes I just put them for myself, but what this is, it's a low carbon electricity system for the world, right? So it's solving a lot of the carbon problems, right? It's a low carbon electricity system, basically a grid for the world. Right. Actually, this is the only tokens that Warren Buffett is bullish on. Warren Buffett, he hates crypto, but he's bullish on energy web token. So the world's largest energy blockchain ecosystem, the grid, their challenge is it's trying to convince every single energy company that's already existing right now to completely change the way they do business. Fossil fuels, trying to get rid of all that stuff. They got to change it. So that's their challenge. You can look at this as a long-term investment, EWT, but it's definitely one of the revolutionary ones of this world, 100%. And that's what blockchain technology does. It's able to connect everything. Blockchain, a block of information chained to all the other blocks of information. So information gets filled into a block, boom, great. Close it, sealed, delivered forever. Tied to that block is a chain with another block. So it's still interconnected right there. So great. Assigns a digital identity for every asset and compensates consumers for participation in the grid. Energy assets, they kind of help communicate each other. So if you have an asset and you have it involved with the grid for energy web token, then you can look towards some compensation, right? And that just keeps the global electricity structure of the world. Kind of what I like to think of is, I like to imagine this. It could be the start to a brand new ecosystem, right? A green future, electricity versus carbon, energy web. It's connected. The points of energy are connected. They're talking to each other. They're communicating. All the information is tied to each other. So when I think of EWT, this is kind of what I think of. Cardano. So I don't have too much to say about Cardano because it's very, very similar to Ethereum and Polkadot. Fun fact, the man who helped create Ethereum left and started Cardano. There's another guy who left Ethereum and started Polkadot. And then another guy stayed and runs Ethereum, right? So all of them, Cardano, Polkadot, and Ethereum, all started with Ethereum. So they said, and you guys remember last week I was talking about forks, right? So forks are when, these people are working together on a project, but then start disagreeing and then just venture off and do their own thing. So this is a hard fork, completely started something different. But Cardano has the potential of 1 million transactions per second, which is very fast. It's better than what Ethereum is currently doing. Wait till I get to that one slide, you'll see. But it's currently in stage 2 of 5. Stage 3, 4, and 5 are probably within next year coming out, something like that. So that's what you guys can do. It aims to be the most decentralized. So it hosts a lot of smart contracts, and that's Cardano in a nutshell. All right, guys. Polygon. Put a 5 in the chat if you've heard about this, if you know it, if you're excited about it. If you know Polygon, put a 5 on the chat. I'm just gonna mix up the numbers here. Okay, Josh, you've heard of Polygon. Josh, you're in Polygon. Anybody else know Polygon, aka Matic? Nobody else? Really? Put a 9 if you've never heard of it or you don't know what it does. Shit. No, I was not expecting that many people. All right, cool, guys. Well, hey, I'm so glad I brought this up for you guys, man. So can anybody take a wild guess which, let's say, I don't want to say company, but yeah, which coin or which company is leading the infrastructure of blockchain technology? Who's at the very top of the game when it comes to blockchain technology?
Ethereum.
Ethereum, yes. And what are some of the problems that are going on with Ethereum right now? What are some problems going on with Ethereum? Does anybody know? When you try to buy something, when you try to buy tokens, what happens? Gas fees. Yes, Melody. Gas fees. Those are crazy right now. I'm telling you, if I want to put in like $50, I have to pay like 125, most of them in gas fees. You know, somebody had to pay. There's like one guy wanted to put like $100, ended up costing $350 because it's crazy high gas fees. Now, Ethereum wasn't, the way it's currently built was not built. You know, it's getting a lot more traffic than it's built for. That's why you see Ethereum 2.0 coming out and other things right here, right? So the reason that Polygon is super hot right now, and it's going to explode. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, this motherfucker is going to explode. Mark Cuban is super bullish on Polygon. The guy from Shark Tank, Austin Mavericks. Mark Cuban is very bullish on Polygon. And this is why right here, guys. So it's previously known as Matic. Matic started by a few guys in India that kind of just said, hey, we're going to solve this Ethereum problem. And then just got switched up to the name Polygon as they started working with Ethereum. So this is a multi-chain scaling solution for Ethereum. So Ethereum is aiming toward to be the largest blockchain in the world, to be the most centralized, the biggest blockchain in the world. And Polygon, and right now it's having scaling issues, and Polygon is the perfect fit for Ethereum and what it's trying to do. So there's a supercharged demand for Ethereum fees. The fees are crazy. So there's a huge demand to solve that. Polygon, it was just for Ethereum, but it turned more into a generalized solution for a lot of other blockchains to be interconnected, and that's why it's crazy, right? So Ethereum is the main hub that Polygon connects everything to. So Polygon is married to Ethereum, right? But if you understand what Polygon does, then this is what's going to be a trip because it highly benefits Ethereum. And if it works out the way it's supposed to, then you're going to see this thing go far. So Polygon is designed to facilitate a future where different blockchains no longer operate as closed off silos, meaning they're not doing their own thing, right? Right now you have different blockchains and some just don't talk to each other. They're not communicating. What this is, it's connecting them together. But instead, networks that fits into a broader interconnected landscape. So Polygon, it's a multi-chain scaling solution. So what this does, it allows blockchains to connect to each other. It's kind of like the plasma glue between. So when you want to completely scale something, right? When you want to scale something, you got to have some sort of technology to tie it to, right? Incompatible technologies don't work together. You're not going to get something on the Binance or on one blockchain and then have it directly communicate with something on a different blockchain. This solves that. So what it's going to do, it's tied to the Ethereum. But if any part of it gets directly tied to anything outside the Ethereum blockchain, let's just say it snatches onto like Cardano's blockchain, all of a sudden, in a weird way, Cardano will become part of Ethereum as it connects. As Polygon names Ethereum the main one, the main blockchain that they're expanding, if it's connected to Cardano in the same way, it's empowering Ethereum. Does that make sense? I need to know if this makes sense to you guys. Yeah, thank you. That makes sense, right? So it's just like that glue in between blockchains that makes it all work. So what it's making it work, it's scaling Ethereum because that's the main one. So if it connects any other blockchain to it, in a way, it's still kind of connected to Ethereum, and that's what's making it super dangerous. So, I mean, not dangerous, but like fucking lit. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. That's why Mark Cuban is super bullish on this. Do your own research, guys. But I really just want to highlight that Polygon, and if it's adopted, you know, on a larger scale, that's huge. So look into Polygon, guys. Has anybody heard of this one? No, I'm almost done. I think it's my last one. Yeah, this is definitely my last one. Has anybody heard of ICP? Internet Computer Protocol. Put a number or something like that. Let's see. Put a 3 if you haven't. If you have not heard of ICP, put a 3. Last night. Okay, beautiful. 3. Okay. Fun fact about ICP. Day 1 of its Coinbase launch, or day 1 when it got debuted, it hit a record high of I don't know how many damn percentage, but that shit went straight up. What, it hit like $300-400 or something like that for one ICP coin on its opening day. That's like right there, neck and neck with like BNB on its opening day. And y'all know how long it's been taking BNB to progress, right? On its opening day, it shot right there. It jumped into the top 10 of most market cap in the world. Because internet computer is ridiculous. It's either, honestly, this is what it's come down to right here. It's either a huge scam or it's literally going to revolutionize the world. It's replacing the internet, the next greatest invention past the internet. So ICP, it's a governance token, right? So it governs all the blockchains in one, right? So in a way, it's like it just governs everything. So ICP is the replacement of the internet protocol. It's 1,000 times faster than the current Ethereum network. Users will have ownership of their data and get compensated for it, right? This can eliminate Facebook, Google, Twitter, meaning companies can go directly to you for your data and get compensated instead of paying Facebook and Twitter. And like, I'm down for that. That's cool. You know what I mean? I'll take that any day for sure, because you have the keys to your information. That's how blockchain works. Now, it doesn't mean that everything's public information in the blockchain. No, it's coded, it's encrypted. You know what I mean? A lot of times. So when you have the keys to your information, you get to decide where it goes. So that's just kind of touching back up on the blockchain. So what ICP is doing is it's chasing blockchain singularity. A system is capable of hosting all of humanity's software and logic and data in smart contracts. Every last bit of humanity's information governed by ICP. That's why it went off. It's like dreaming big. You guys know what I'm talking about. It went off. Global blockchain network that runs at the top web speed with ultimate scaling features to support any volume at all, contract size and computation. Ain't that some shit? It's crazy, huh? Almost too good, yeah. Yeah. It's insane. But look at this. So this is how it would roll out, right? So ICP, that's just think of it as the greater whole, right? Just every node just governed by a greater whole. All right, so look at this. This is the roadmap, 20-year roadmap for ICP. Ready? A 20-year roadmap for the project was recently revealed by Definity Foundation. Below have included a summary of its goals. Within 5 years, schools will teach about internet computer and Motoko, its programming language. Your kids are going to learn this shit, guys. Some open internet services will have achieved substantial success, and there will be widespread understanding of what the ICP is. Within 10 years, the internet computer will be on a path to overtake big tech's closed propriety internet ecosystem. Funds will continue to be redirected to the ICP from legacy internet companies, and DeFi will be on par to traditional financial technology. So it could still run finances. You know, it's still good for taking finances. Within 20 years, the ICP will be bigger than the closed internet of today. Most of society's crucial infrastructure will be hosted on it, and individuals the world over will benefit massively, improve privacy and personal freedoms. What do you guys think about that? Any thoughts? Any you can mute your mic. You can drop on the chat. Crazy, huh? Some crazy shit, guys. and this is all powered, you know, cryptocurrency. You know, when you invest in the ICP coin, if you invest into Cardano, when you invest into Ethereum, when you invest into Polygon, right? Schools are already teaching some of this. Oh wow, crazy. I gotta look that up. But when you're investing into these coins, right, you're basically investing into companies. That's what you're doing. So you're investing into these companies that are starting up this technology that's going to revolutionize the world in a tech-based society. This is the future. All that shit that you see on media, all that things, all those prepper movies that you've been seeing about space and the future. You know, everything that you guys have kind of seen about a futuristic world, guys, this is the technology that's driving it, is it not? When you can control this much data, and when you can make you know, if you were my last call, you know about the Internet of Things. I talked about how somebody can literally just, like, your house can know your morning routine. All you'd have to do is just switch on the light in the kitchen, and all of a sudden your TV comes on, the blinds go up, your coffee brewer starts to make, and then I don't know, your stove turns on, whatever. It's all connected together. It just knows it. The Internet of Things and blockchain technology. So this is the future, guys. Blockchain technology. So when you guys are investing in these coins and you're making an assessment to buy a specific coin, understand what that technology behind it is. Because if that technology seems revolutionary enough, like ICP, which hit fucking records in a single day because of its crazy just story, you know, that's going to help you as an investor. It's really going to help you as an investor. You can see the demand, and then you can start looking for solutions. And then if you're amongst those people that starts to get into the solutions for the demand at an early stage, guess what? You're buying the bottom of the motherfucking dip. Just by understanding this. Okay, hey, Ethereum was having problems. There's too much going on in the network. What are they doing to solve this? Right? When you start to ask yourself questions like that, you can solve, okay, cool. Ethereum has high network fees. Cool. What are they doing to solve it? And you do your research and you find out, oh, hey, they're working with Polygon before anybody else finds out, because that stuff is out there, right? You see that problem, there's a solution, you dive into the solution, understanding like what we're doing here, and then you make an investment decision, you're getting at the bottom of the barrel. That's investing right there, boy, I tell you. You want to take it to the next game? Do that. So that's really what I'm saying, guys. I said earlier, you know, I do have fun buying shit coins. I really do, but I don't trust the longevity of them. So, you know, I leverage those shit coins that we all put in. You know, I know you guys all get the signals in the chats and stuff like that when we all buy shit coins. You know, I buy maybe 2 to 4 coins a day, right? Amongst the very first people to buy in, and I've been seeing crazy returns. If you were here on that last call, you know, I put in $300 into Safe Moon when it was very low. I was amongst the very first people to find out about it. and those 300 bucks flipped into 30K. Now I put $400 into FEG token, feed every gorilla, right when it was at 0.000001. I unboxed the very first, and then that shit shot up to 27K. What I did with that was I skimmed off the top. I bought more coins, more shit coins for sure, but I used that profit to supply these coins that are changing the world. That's longevity. You can rest be assured that you jump into these right coins, these coins right here, these altcoins are companies, they're tech coins with technology. Leverage that trading strategy, right? Have fun with the shit coins, use your money to take vacations and stuff like that. You know, that's how you can play the game. And then, you know, make sure that you don't live and die by them, because there's much greater things like this. And that's why I always want to have, you know, some sort of altcoin session in my calls. So you guys can start taking that dive and look at investing like that. Understand what these coins are, right? So I know I went over my time, guys, but I really just wanted to punch that home. I appreciate you guys for showing up. You guys are my motivation to really keep delivering this content, and I'm definitely going to learn more. The reason I'm learning more is because you guys will to learn. So, you know, do that for yourselves. You know, learn more, keep teaching people, keep expanding your outreach, and just know there's a void for leadership in this market. So if you are a leader that's helping other people out, you know, you're getting at the dip of that demand, because not a lot of people know. So with that, guys, I appreciate you guys. We're out.